Hello and welcome back to the West Coast Today podcast with me, Owen Wild.
And me, Fiona Scott.
In this podcast, we'll be telling you about some of the best stories from Scotland's West Coast this week, online at westcoasttoday.co.uk and in the printed editions of this week's Oban Times and Lochaber Times. We love hearing your stories, so why not drop us an email at editor@obantimes.co.uk or editor@lochabertimes.co.uk, or you can give us a call on 01631 568 000. So today we're starting up north in Lochaber. Over to you, Fee.
Thanks, Owen. Gosh, it's quiet in here today. I'll tell you who hasn't been quiet over the last couple of months, though. Vladislav Tulacek, better known to us as just Vlad the Giant. The world-class professional Highland Games heavy athlete from the Czech Republic, who now lives in Aberdeen, continued his domination of the Scottish traditional heavy athletics circuit with record-breaking performances at both Arisaig and Mulligan Highland Games. I wonder if he eats his porridge or if he's more a Weetabix man.
It's definitely got to be Weetabix. I mean, you've seen the adverts. People are flipping submarines in those adverts. It's got to be that.
It's porridge. A true Scot with salt, not sugar. Which are you?
Me, I'm a Weetabix. Yeah.
Right.
I love Weetabix.
I like my porridge, especially on days like this. So for photo specials and reports of all the action from the games, see this week's paper, with even more photos and full results in the Lochaber Times section of www.westcoasttoday.co.uk. Keeping on the sporting theme, and local shinty teams are enjoying a very successful season, with a second tournament victory in the space of 2 weeks. Last week, Kilmallie got their hands on the silverware following a close run win against Lovat in the Ballymore Cup final, and this week Glengarry took the honours in the Chieftains Cup. Also in this week's sports section, you can read about how Fort FC teams are preparing for the start of the new season, and follow all the action on the water on week 1 of the Ploughton Regatta fortnight. Phew, worn out just reading all that, Owen. Back to you.
Thank you, Fee. Well, before I tell you what's happening down in Oban, I need to go over to Nikki to tell you about a new podcast we're launching this week. This week, West Coast Today launches the much-anticipated Blether in the Heather podcast, the first series of 10 episodes sponsored by Wild About Argyll. Nikki, our Blether in the Heather podcast presenter, is here to tell us what to expect from the very first episode, launching this Thursday, August 6th, and available to listen on any podcast platform, including Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon Music. Nikki, what's it all about?
Our podcast series has been absolutely wonderful to work on. We've just spent the last few months meeting lots of amazing people behind the scenes at some of the greatest businesses and attractions across Argyll and the islands. And I was very lucky to meet Lauren Groves, who is a first-time clipper race adventurer. She joined the crew of the Tongyang boat, which came in second into Oban, and she was telling me all about her bucket list adventure. She turned 40 this year, and all the amazing things she did, all the challenges, and why anybody that wants to do something really amazing to really push themselves out of their comfort zone should think about doing the clipper race, maybe next year or one of the other years, maybe the next time it comes to Oban. Who knows? Fingers crossed.
Thank you, Nikki. Well, I've got a nice one to start you off for the Oban Times. Do you remember a year ago when a wedding was held in the Mull and Iona Community Hospital?
Just about, Owen, I think.
Yeah, well, the lovely couple, Lisa and Ian Whittaker, returned to do things right this time, renewing their vows a year on at Duart Castle, where they were originally due to wed. Lisa, who had broken her leg in a horror accident the day before, still walks with a crutch, but's doing much better, and the family returned to the hospital to give thanks and make a donation. Possibly Argyll's best piper and the long-term leader of Oban High School Pipe Band, Angus McCall, is to receive the Bruno Schroeder Medal in recognition of his amazing services to piping in Argyll. It was the Oban Rotary Duck Race this week as well, which you can find photos of in this week's paper. And finally,
quack.
Quack, quack, indeed. And finally, Mull has come together in solidarity with their LGBTQ community after online trolls from off the island targeted this year's Pride celebrations in Tobermory with neo-Nazi imagery, including swastikas. 70 businesses and organisations signed a rare joint statement against the bigotry. Well, that's all we have time for this week, folks, so remember to pick up a copy of this week's papers in stores from Thursday, and that you can find this podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever else you usually get your podcasts. Until next time, it's bye from me, Owen Wild.
And bye from me, Fiona Scott.
Bye.